guys, this is my review of my 2009 Audi R8 V8. I bought this car about 11 months ago, so I feel like I am really able to give it a solid review now because I daily drive the car. I live in Florida, so it gives me the opportunity to really drive the car year-round. We don't have snow or anything like that. Well, occasionally we'll have a little flurry up north, but I'm close to Orlando, so we really have great driving weather year-round. And I bought this car because I was on Shark Tank.
How much money have you invested in this company?
Okay, so I've invested $1 into this company.
Oh, no.
Okay, and let me explain.
And I worked really hard to get my company to the point where it is, and I was able to splurge a little bit, and I'm really into cars. So I started researching, and I was looking at Lamborghinis, the Gallardo. I love them, 2004, 2005. You can get them in the price range that I was looking to spend. But there's always been this love for the R8 within me since I saw the Super Bowl commercial where they did the, parody of the scene from The Godfather with the horse head in the bed. They did the engine, and then the Audi's taken off from the house, and it was like the first time, because it was really like the first car that brought LED headlights, with the little strip of LEDs in the headlights, and now they're like on every single car ever, but Audi was like really the first car company to do that. And I was like, I'm in a position now where I can afford really my dream car, so why not go for it? And I did. I found this car, actually. I've been looking all over the country. I found it actually in Orlando, so it was very close to me, and I loved it right away. The first time I drove it, I just had the biggest smile on my face. It's like everything, that you think your dream car, you hope it to be, this car is that. It is very fast, and this is the V8. There is a V10, but 420 horsepower from this V8 is plenty for me. I would say that I have gotten used to the speed, and I'm thinking about supercharging it now, maybe upgrading to the V10, but again, I want to keep it as my daily driver because I just love driving this car. It puts me in a good mood every single morning when I get into it. Whenever I'm walking up to it, it is just extremely good looking, and it just reminds me of how hard that I've worked to get here, and that I'm really lucky to be in this position to be able to afford these things that I really want. But on to the review. So I have if you can see it, I guess you can't from this video, but I have the 6-speed manual. I only recently drove, I'm on a really bad road right now, sorry, they're doing some construction. I only recently drove a V10, it was a 2010 with the R8, and that car is very fast. Faster than this by far, you notice it right away. But I really hated the R8. I hated it. I felt like the car just, I don't know, it was lurching, and when you really get on it, it's not that bad, but I've driven some dual clutch transmission cars, and it's just, I don't know why. And at that time, Audi had 2009, 2010, Audi had the DCT transmission in the convertible S5. So I don't understand. Well, I know what it is. I know now because it's different engine setup and everything. Getting it to work with this took a long time. But if that car would have had the DCT, then I probably would have bought it. But because it didn't have the R8, I didn't think about trading this in on it or anything. But this car is amazing. I love the transmission. I love banging through the gears. It's just really gratifying, the sound that it makes. I typically will drive with the radio off just to listen to the engine behind me and just to hear, myself rolling through the gears. It's extremely smooth. I just put on new tires on the car. I went with Oso FP 8000s, which is like a sister company of Falcon, who is owned by Sumo Tumo tires, and they're amazing. I just put them on, fresh rubber, less than 400 miles, and the tires are great. I'm going to do a review on them later also. But this car gets so much attention. It is unbelievable. Now, I live in an area where you don't see a lot of, exotic cars, and I do call this car an exotic car. I live in an area where I have seen another white R8, like, occasionally, but typically what you see here is going to be, Corvettes and, 5.0 Mustangs. That's really all you're going to see. So whenever I'm driving this car, and I think probably a lot of people are used to seeing it now because I do drive it every single day, but this car gets so much attention. People want to take pictures when I come out of the store. People are standing around it. They're taking pictures. They're taking pictures of the car. They're taking pictures with the car. It's wrapped also. I have it wrapped. The person that had it before me, the car is actually black. The roof is still black, and the car is wrapped in this color called Dragonfire Red, and it really sets the car off nice. There's a 20-inch Advan black wheels on the car. So it's a really eye-catching car in the first place, but just the look of the R8 I think is really timeless. I'm not a big fan of the new R8. I think it's a little bit too angular. I like the sexiness of, the first generation R8. And again, sorry, this road's really bad. So, I love the car. Every single time I see it, I smile because it's owning your dream car. I mean, this is like, it's an amazing feeling. It's great. The car has been very reliable for me. Give and take. I purchased the car from a previous owner who had purchased a transferable, third-party warranty for the car, and I took it in for its first service, which is not extremely cheap, but you're not, if you buy this car, you're probably not worried about how much you're spending on the service in the first place. But the first service cost me right around $1,100, and that included an oil change, spark plugs, which really ran it up, and some basic filters or whatever they were cleaning, and maybe change out the brake fluid. So that was like $1,100 from the first one. Wasn't bad, but when they brought it in for the service, they said that they heard something coming from the transmission and they wanted to take a look at it. So I had to wait until I got the warranty transferred into my name, and it turned out that the transmission and the AC compressor stopped blowing hot air, or stopped blowing cold air also, and I'm in Florida, so that's really important. So luckily those two things were covered, the transmission, and they said that the transmission didn't need to be changed, but since I had the warranty and it was a covered item, and the warranty was going to expire within 4 or 5 months, they said, why don't you just go ahead and swap it out anyway? If we can get it covered for you, why not? So I was like, sure. So I had to pay $100 deductible, but the total on the service was $16,000 for a new AC compressor and the transmission. So I'm really lucky that I did not have to come out of pocket for that, because that would have been a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. But I would have done it because I love this car. I love this car so much. I will drive it until the wheels fall off, literally. Then I'll put some new wheels on it, and then I'll keep driving it some more. Car is very fast. I have had it up to over 100 miles per hour on closed course, and it is extremely stable. Those types of speeds, triple digit speeds, feel like you're doing something very manageable, like 60 or 70 in a different car, because it's designed for that. I love the rear spoiler. It comes up when you hit 65 miles per hour, and it will stay up until basically you come to a stop. And you also have a button where you can control the bumper or the spoiler if you just want it up for looks. I'm on my way to work right now. And I just love getting on the car. It's very fast. It's very fast. I mean, there's nothing I haven't been next to a car that I couldn't just take off from, even if they were trying. And I mean, I'm not big into street racing or anything like that. I'm just more about, just kind of getting on it when I'm taking off, or when I'm getting onto an on-ramp, and I love taking corners in this car because it handles I don't know, it's so cliche, but it feels like it's on rails. I mean, this car turns, and it just feels like it's so well balanced. It's Before I bought this car, I owned two 350Zs. I had a BMW Z4. I had a BMW 328i, the coupe, and you read reviews from people who drive cars. Maybe you watch Chris Harris reviewing a car on YouTube, and it's tough because they're so jaded because these guys get to drive these types of cars all the time. So it's really hard to tell how they are comparing, or how they would compare a basic car to like a supercar or like an exotic. And it's tough for me to sit here and tell you, I guess, the same thing, because it is a world of a difference. This car feels different from other cars that I've driven, and this is without question the nicest car that I have ever driven. I have never driven a Lamborghini. I've never driven a Ferrari, and I know those are even steps above this. So it is pretty incredible, just the difference and the engineering that goes into a car like this from basic commuter cars or cars that are driver's cars but are different. Because up until I drove this car, I loved the 350Z. I still do. It's one of my favorite cars ever. I'm looking to buy another one actually right now, is like a daily, to stop putting miles on this car as much. But I love the 350Z, but I just test drove one last week, and I mean, getting back into my R8 is just like, it's so different. I do wish some of the things that I don't like about this car, there's not many. There honestly is not many things. I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", and this car fits me perfectly. But if you watch the review from Jeremy Clarkson, he's a tall guy. He's got plenty of room also. I wish, this is 2009, and I do wish that the interior electronics were a little more updated. And I think that's really only because of the new virtual cockpit from Audi. It is like so nice. I had to take this in for its second service like a month ago, and I had a Q7 for a few days because actually it was just like last week, waiting for the new tires to come in. And the virtual cockpit's amazing. And like the navigation is fine. I really like that. Like if you have navigation set up, a destination, have it set up in the system, in your center console or in your dash here, it actually gives you like directions to turn. So it'll tell you like in 3 miles you need to turn left or whatever it may be. So I do like that, but it is still pretty, it's not basic, but it's just, I thought that it would be a little bit nicer from, I thought they would have put a little bit more money into the interior in this car, but it just really seemed like they just copy and pasted what's in the S5 and what's in the entire Audi lineup into this car also. It works. I mean, it definitely works. It's easy to navigate, and MMI's never let me down. It's good. Or I have the Audi Navigation Plus system in here. But I'm like a techie guy, touchscreen and all that. That's what I like. And I've debated replacing the head unit and a center console with like a double din unit that has like a little bit nicer screen in there and probably touch screen, but I haven't brought myself to doing it yet, just because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of how I look at those things. What else don't I like about this car? There's really the sound system could be a little bit louder, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And you have the ability to put music onto SD cards, which is what I love. Because you can just press a button, the screen folds down, you put your, or pop your SD card out, plug it into your computer, transfer music over, and then that. But you can't stream music via Bluetooth. You have Bluetooth. I get calls, but I can't stream music to the unit. So that's another thing that kind of sets me back. But it's really just technology. That's really the only thing that I like about this car, is just some of the technology inside of it. The rest, I love this car. I love it. I mean, in the past 10 months, I've put 12,000 miles on the car, and my office is like 6 miles from my house. I just love driving this car so much. And I do like the attention also. I like the attention that it gets. You know, I like talking to people about cars as well. So if someone stops and they want to take a picture, or they want to ask you something, they want to see the engine, you know, I love doing that because, you know, I was that kid at one time who, you know, would pull up to a gas station and there was a Lamborghini over there or something, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, oh my God, it's such a cool car, giving compliments, and now I'm in a reverse role. So I feel like I have to, like, pay it forward for all those people that did it for me. To say, hey, you know, come check the car out. Do you want to sit inside of it? You want to take a picture with it? No problem. Man, this is my first review of any car, so I feel like I'm forgetting some things, but that's it for the most part. I love it. I love it. I'd have to find a V10, like 2012 or older, because that's the body style that I like, and it has to be a manual, and it have to be like a really good price for me to consider getting rid of this exact car, because I love it so much. I'm so attached to it. I've driven it so much. I just feel like it's like, you know, it's a part of me now, you know. I'm really used to it. So going to a V10 would be something that I'd be up for, because nothing changes except you got more power behind you, and I'm always up for more power. And it was pretty addictive driving the V10. It was, you know, that car, like, I mean, it like kind of like took my breath away. It sucked like the air out of my lungs because we were moving, and that was when the salesman was driving it. I didn't even get it on it that much because, you know, it's not your car, you know, we were kind of on like this little side road where he took me down, but yeah. But until then, this is my baby. I love it. If you're in the market for a used Audi R8 V8, go for it. Nothing is wrong with the engine at all. On startup, the car sounds amazing. It's got this like really, like, it just blares like, then it calms down, and you would never know that you have the, you know, 420 horsepower sitting right behind you until you get on the gas, and then you realize that you're moving really fast, faster than you thought you were going to get there. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will be answering all the questions, and that's it. Take it easy.